without fire.
This is a commemorative colloquium celebrating the 60th birthday of the former governor of Imo State and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Emeka Ihedioha.
Thank you so much for being on this one.
Dignitaries across various divides were in attendance, included former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, former Secretary General of Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Ihedioha, former governors, former and 7 ministers, lawmakers, faith leaders, and royal fathers. Themed is Democracy Failing in Africa. The event aims to provide valuable insights into the failures of democracy in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, everyone.
In his address as the chairman of the occasion, former President Olusegun Obasanjo was blunt in his assessment of democracy on the continent.
So if democracy is not that democracy is failing, democracy is dying. And if we are going to make democracy not to die, we have to look at democracy in the context and in the content of Africa.
The keynote address was delivered by the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Bishop Matthew Kuka. He speaks on the need to restructure democracy.
When a government becomes destructive to the principles that have been initiated, it is the right of the people to alter and to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing powers in such form as to them shall most likely be the effect of safety and happiness.
He also gave recommendations of what Nigeria needs to do to strengthen its democracy.
The democratization of development leads to the development of democracy. If you appreciate the fact that the poor people living on the hills, the poor people living across the river, they too didn't come to accompany you. So if we are honest enough to democratize development, we will be able to develop democracy.
The goodwill messages focused on the status of democracy in Nigeria and Africa.
Emeka and I have kept this relationship, and till today, I have found him extremely loyal, dedicated, and focused.
In Africa, and particularly we in Nigeria, have the responsibility of having a stable democracy which would enable our people to create and to manufacture.
In his vote of thanks, the celebrant stressed the need to uphold democratic tenets for the overall good of the polity.
I do not take positions because I like you or not like you, but because I believe that democracy remains the best form of governance in our land. We do everything we can without fear of favor and speaking truth to power to sustain and protect this institution, to protect democracy.
The consensus here is that there is a need for a re-evaluation of Africa's governance models, urging leaders to embrace systems that prioritize inclusivity, transparency,
and he keeps telling me that he has become a bishop because of me, so that I can get to the kingdom of God. Well, you will forgive me if among governors, former governors, attempted governors, I will also recognize Peter Obi, who so let me now come back to Emeka. Emeka, I felicitate with you on this day. And I listened attentively to what leaders have said about you. And all I will say to that is that I concur.
I say you should bring the microphone closer to your mouth.
And why didn't you say it publicly so that they can hear? Why are you whispering into my ears instead of saying, bring the telephone close to your mouth so that everybody can hear you?
I said I sent your son so that you will not be angry.
Now that you have said it, what is more? You said so that I will not be angry. What is to make me angry if you are correcting me correctly? But let us have a wonderful day. You said to me we will start at 10 o'clock so that we can end at about 1 o'clock because of those who are fasting. And I don't want to take too much of your time, except to say that this is a day that we are all happy to be here with you, to celebrate with you, and to share the joy of this day with you. The little I know about you is that you are a determined man. There's no perfect human being. But the little also that I know about you, you are almost a perfect human being. Again, the little I know about you, you take things as they come. And you are unperturbed by even the seeming and apparent injustice when they come to you. For me, I will do everything to be here with you today, and you know that. And I'm really happy to be here with you. And you have chosen for discussion, which again, I believe is an indication of your mind, of what you believe for this country. You have chosen for discussion democracy. Is it failing in Africa? Are we talking of democracy? Or are we talking of Western liberal democracy? I will not preempt what Bishop Kuka will be saying. But when we talk of democracy, we should remember that in Africa, before the colonial rule and the colonial power, we have a form of government which attended to the needs of our people. And whatever you call it, to me, it is democracy. Because what is democracy about? The American President Abraham Lincoln defined it as government of the people, by the people, for the people. Democracy is meant to be a system of government that delivers, and delivers to all the people, not just a section of the people, not just a few. But what do we have today? I believe since we gone past the Greek democracy, which brought everybody to the square, and everybody has a say in the decision making, which affects everybody, or which affected everybody. Democracy has now become representative democracy. And representative democracy has not taken care of everybody. Today, we have democracy, which is government of the people, of small number of people, by small number of people, over large number of people, who are deprived of what they need to have in life. Now, that is not democracy that will endure. So if you are talking of democracy failing in Africa, democracy in Africa has failed. And why has it failed? Because it didn't have any, in context and in content, it's not African. It does not have any aspect of our culture, our way of life, what we stand for, what we believe. Ubuntu. I am because we are. It is I am because I can grab. What sort of democracy brings you and you grab everything and then illegally, corruptly, and you say go to court? When you know that even in the court, you cannot get justice. So if democracy is not that democracy is failing, democracy is dying. And if we are going to make democracy not to die, we have to look at democracy in the context and in the content of Africa. I hope that we will get to that stage so that democracy, which will deliver, will be the democracy that we will have in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much.